Guys, Semen the Piso back once again with yet another video. What we're doing and talking about today, well, they're both separate things, right? What we're doing is we're going to talk about something. What we're talking about is the journey of the ascetic. The journey of the ascetic is one of the most powerful things that one could undertake in this physical reality. As we know, right, followers of the channel, we know we're on semen retention, right? We know that we're saving our seed, we're trying to get some mental benefits, some physical benefits, and most importantly, spiritual benefits, so we can cultivate our auras and have protection from the things of this place whilst navigating ourselves through the higher tunnels of fate that is preordained to us from before we even existed, right? We know this. For the individuals that sort of tripped onto this journey, I, right? Because I tripped onto this journey. We don't come into life, and most of us, right? We don't come into this life thinking that we're just going to be an ascetic, we're going to ascend. No, we come into this life, we're sort of bombarded by the things of this physical reality, right? We got to have kids, we got to have a family, we have to do, we have to show off, we have to have chains, we have to have cars, we have to have houses, we have to have all these possessions, right? But then our soul is, empty and it's void of a lot of things, right? So as we begin on this journey of the ascetic, we learn many, many things, right? And I'm going to try to talk about these things in a little series. So like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into it. Of course, guys, if you have not joined the Shadow Collective, join the Shadow Collective. It's the membership program for the channel. Anyway, the aspect of the journey of the ascetic that we're going to talk about today, right, is the reaching the outer edges of the personality. What the heck does that mean, right? Sombra, are you crazy? A personality is just me. I was born this way, and they told me about zodiacs, and I have a sign. I'm a Leo, and I'm supposed to act like this. There's nothing else beyond that. These are all lies. They're trying to deceive you. It is all what they call fake news. When you are on this practice of semen retention, right, that is first of all, the semen retention vehicle, coach bus, right, costs nothing except a little bit of sanity, just a tad bit, or what you believe yourself to be. When you believe yourself to be sane, you're going to sacrifice a little bit of those pillars of thought, and you're going to go headlong into this world of just new experiences, developmental cultivation and ascension when you go on this coach bus of semen retention. FYI, semen retention is one of the main primary ways to become an ascetic. There are other ways. Granted, you could meditate, I guess, in a forest for years, right? But still, even when you are in that forest, you are not getting you're not going into adult film material. You're not getting mixed in with the things of this world, which is just things of violence, things of jealousy, envy, passion, lust, all of those things that keep you here and keep you worshiping the things of the here. When you are on semen retention, right, the vehicle, you are automatically beginning, knowingly or unknowingly, your journey of being an ascetic, right? And by being on this journey, by being on this path, you are now you're about to figure out the edges of your personality, the limits of your aptitude, the limits of your limit, and your perceived notions, your preconceived notions about your own limits and your place in this world. Let's talk about it, because it's wild, because I've been thinking about it a lot, right? As I was like this, of course, a lot of this is coming from my personal experiences, my observations and my analyses of the anecdotes that I've heard from various people on their practices of semen retention. When you continue on this practice, when you are celibate, there's going to be a lot of, but let's take it from the top. Before you even begin the practice of celibacy, right? You're going to be a little wayward, or not, you are going to be wayward, but there are going to be things that you don't really understand, like their actions, of your behavior, your personality, that you're going to continuously perpetuate, right? And you're not understanding really why you're doing them. You just, of course, you don't understand that because your aura is compromised, because you've been releasing so much, you are bombarded and subconsciously programmed and conditioned by the world to act in specific ways, right? i.e. being a masculine man in this modern society means having a whole bunch of women, which doesn't mean anything. And it only takes away your energy from trying to perceive the higher realms in order to ascend and get to the limits of your personality anyway. So the more you are, you're acting this way, you're off of semen retention, you are mixing with the things of the world, you have family gatherings, your teacher tells you got to have a family, you got to have kids, and you have to get part of this modern world. You have to become part of the fold. You don't know any better. Right? You don't know maybe there is nothing else to be out there. Sure, you may grow up in your traditional households, and most traditional households are religious, right? They follow the ways of Christianity. They follow the ways of the Muslim faith. They follow the ways of Jewish faith, whatever it may be. But trust me, they don't understand anything about these religions. They don't understand anything about these groups of thought, because the true individuals that harbor the concepts and ideas of these various religions, trust me, they ain't starting families. They're not having kids, trust me, and they're definitely not watching adult film material and letting go of their seed. Best believe they're not doing that. They understand it to the T. But you follow them anyway because you believe. Of course, you don't read their texts, right? So you don't directly understand what is really being said about how someone should follow that faith, right? Or should follow the ways of just what the various religions are trying to teach you. And you just continue being just a vessel, a broadcaster, a parrot of these silly traditional ideologies that are meant to keep you bound to this place and never ascend and never actually reach the outer edge of your personality. The idea, right, of semen retention, when you get on this goddamn coach bus, right, is that you start perceiving things differently. Your personality changes. Where you were timid and shy and soft-spoken, you are now on the other side. You know what? I don't agree with that. You know what? I don't think that's an interesting thing to talk about, right? And then of course you understand more about the world around you and how it responds to individuals that are like you. And then you start to make very, very informed, still cold, clean decisions about how to carry forth with this new energy, with this new idea, with this new angle of thought. The idea of semen retention is to not only keep you ascended or make you go through the process of ascension, not in an accelerated way, but in a consistent, steady way, but it also gets you to the limits of your personality. You understand all of your quirks. You understand why you do things the way that you do them, why you believe the way you believe, how you intake information, all of these things. And then the more you are on this practice, the longer you are on this practice, remember, steadily on the practice, you're not peeking at adult film material, you're not sleeping with women, you're not spilling of any sort, you are just ascending. And then, you're in the gym, cultivating that energy, that new vital energy that you are getting. You're doing something creative, utilizing the energy in its intended purpose, only in a very good flywheel, circular, perpetual building motion. You are going to start to see a lot of things wrong with just the way you do things. All of the things you desire, lust, the idea of being accepted by this modern world despite the damages that it does to your psyche and your mental health. You're not going to cave into any of that anymore. Being on this practice of semen retention, you learn so much about yourself and the individuals of this world, and how these people are just walking around with their own personalities, not seeking to grow at all. Social media tells us a whole plethora of things, right? You need to act like this. You need to say this in this situation. You need to talk to people that look like that and act like that way. All of these things, and it's isolate of culture. You think that it's just going to be in the US? No, it's in Europe. It's in Australia. It is in all these countries, because social media is broadcasting this silly way of life and silly way on how to perceive and act in this world. When in reality, the only barometer of true personality is having that objective vision, that objective vision that's only obtained through celibacy, that's only obtained through semen retention. Once you have that vision, you are now able to cut back on things that you used to do, add things that you did not do. So insofar as it keeps you online with the trajectory of the objective reality. Nothing else in this world matters. The accumulation of all of these things, this is all useless. Useless. The only thing that matters is being on semen retention and reaching the outer edges of your personality. And the reason why you will do that, right? The reason why that is a very powerful thing to do, because self-reflection is well needed. There's a lot of mental health issues. It's even gotten more prevalent in this day and age due to many things. Of course, the rise in prescription drugs, the rise in a lot of different factors, like such as the radioactive fields that are broadcasted from 5G cell towers, from our phones, from various things. Of course, the social media telling people how to act. News sources have become much more prominent than ever in broadcasting devilish, negative information that keeps our vibration low. That all lends to the destruction of mental health. You may think that, okay, me, Semen del Piso, is suffering in mental health or mentally and whatsoever, but I'm actually feeling solid. I am young. In my age group, there are individuals that the majority of them can't do what I do. They don't have the confidence and they don't have the heft. They don't have that cutting edge in order to stay on top of doing what I do consistently and as perpetually as possible. That is all because I have done this practice of semen retention. I have risen my vibration, and I'm only interested in reaching the outer edges of my personality. Granted, when you do this practice and you reach the outer edges of your personality, you will be scared to death what you see and what you experience. There will be no shelter to put your head under, nowhere to hide. There is nothing that you could say to individuals outside to help you with this issue with your personality, because you're going to find out there's a lot of blockages that were self-imposed. There's a lot of ideas that you were conditioned with, and you continue to be conditioned with because you are remaining in those social situations that perpetually administer this poison to you. When you keep reaching this outer edge, all you have to do, because these things will be fixed, all these issues will be fixed. Granted, you stay the course on semen retention. The longer you go on this journey, you're going to be learning so much about this reality. You're going to be learning so much about people, the way you respond to people. And then you're going to get into the little bits, that microcosmic, the atomic material of what makes up your personality, because there is nothing in this world that is conducted without the transference and the exchange of energy. Understand this: your personality, these words, how you feel, the excitement that you feel about things, they all have an energetic basis. Once you get to that energetic basis and you understand the source of the cause of your issue, you will begin to be able to manipulate that change. Not like some sort of wizard or an alchemist or something, right? The classic alchemists. In a metaphorical sense, in a mental, metaphysical sense, you're going to be able to highlight the things that kept you blocked and kept you limited, and then you're going to change it. You're going to be able to manipulate it. You're going to understand that a man's personality is not fixed in this reality. You can be whatever you want to be, whenever you want to be, and however you want to be it. Me, how I like to think is that you do not hurt the individuals around you. And I'm not saying, I mean physically hurt or emotionally hurt. Don't try to do them wrong. Don't try to do them hurt. Leave them alone. If they don't like you, you do not cast that same type of hatred back to them. You just concentrate on yourself. You concentrate on growth. You concentrate on ascension. Concentrate on reaching the edges of your personality. That is one of the main primary steps of trying to begin your journey of asceticism. The journey of being an ascetic is one of the most important. We have individuals in this world that love alcohol, they love their drugs, they love and not necessarily things that are directly intoxicating to the body, but they like these habits and behaviors and things that keep them tied to this world and accepted by this world. They hate standing alone because they are afraid to do so, not understanding that we are all subject to the same conditions of judgment in this place. You gotta reach the edge of your personality now or later, but it must be reached. You have to understand this. They don't understand this, and they want to stay in this world. They want to still have kids. They still want to start families. They still want to accumulate the things of the world. They still want to fit in with the majority of society, which is inherently wrong because they are guided incorrectly. Gentlemen, my final statement for this video. Do semen retention, reach the outer edges of your personality and fix all of the errors that you have from an objective point of view. You're gonna have a bird's eye view the more you're on semen retention because you're ascending, right? And you're going to see all of these issues that you have, these blockages. Oh, why is this energy not flowing this way? Or why is it that I'm not acting this way? Oh, it is because I've been acting like this for a very long time, and that behavior has been set in my personality, which is difficult to remove. Let me just take that out now that I'm ascended on the practice of semen retention. Paranoia about the people around me, a complete anxious type of behavior and depressive type nature every time I am met with something that might be a little too challenging for me. You remove these things and you just press on forward. Let's start our journeys of ascension. Let us start our journeys of being ascetics in this modern world that needs it now more than ever. And we're going to bring new creative works, new creative policies, and benevolent and altruistic policies for the entirety of this planet. And with that being said, that is all I have to say today. If you guys enjoy that kind of content, like, comment, subscribe, share the video with some peers. Don't ever let this place get you down. Remember, this world is financially invested in your downfall. We have a majority of bioengineered foods that have no vibration, that keep you low. We have a majority of individuals that create financial behaviors and financial tactics in order to keep you poor, so you continuously go on this perpetual cycle of chasing money to never chase the things of the higher realm, creating news sources and broadcasting social media articles in order for you to bind to the idea that you need a family in this world, which you do not. You do not need children. You do not need any of that. The only thing that needs to be done, we are plagued by overpopulation. The only thing that needs to be done in this reality is ascension for men. You need to ascend, stay on semen retention, stay celibate, try to figure out cross cultures, try to learn Mandarin, try to learn Vietnamese, try to learn how to speak Spanish, try to learn how to speak Portuguese, learn languages, learn new concepts, and break into these other cultures and change this place for the betterment of all souls. This is what we must do. Become ascetics, my friends, and stay radiant. I shall see you guys in the next video. Woo!